The guy's just so gross. He really is. I mean, talking about Trump water, branded Trump water. And by the way, he's such a hypocrite, too, talking about attacking Joe Biden while Joe Biden is going, risking his life, fighting for Western democracy, something he doesn't give a damn about, something, when you have a guy that talks about suspending the Constitution, it's just absolutely insane. And by the way, where was that guy when there were disasters, when there were train disasters, when he was president of the United States?
Exactly.
I never saw him out. I never saw him out. Where was he? Why did he decide to go here?
Well, he did go throw paper towels at people at one point. Former President Donald Trump bringing Trump water with him on a visit to East Palestine, Ohio yesterday. That's where the Norfolk Southern train derailed and spilled toxic chemicals. Trump spent his time criticizing President Biden's handling of the crisis and said he had a stronger working relationship with FEMA when he was in power. Trump also claimed, without evidence, that the Biden administration only directed more resources to East Palestine because Trump announced that he's
just a lie.
Visiting the area.
Just a liar.
FEMA said specifically this doesn't meet the criteria, and that's horrible, and somebody has to do something for those people. I said back, when I announced that I was coming, they changed their tune. It was an amazing phenomena.
Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg is set to visit East Palestine today. This is his first trip to the area since the derailment happened nearly 3 weeks ago. Buttigieg has received a lot of criticism for his handling of the disaster. His spokesperson says he wanted to visit, so he waited to visit so it would not detract from emergency response efforts. While Trump was criticizing President Biden and Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg for not visiting East Palestine yet, Fox News had this fact check last night. Take a look.
There is this political moment, and there's been a lot of criticism of the transportation secretary. Politico pointing out that Secretary Buttigieg will visit their Ohio crash tomorrow. Quote, he's also expected to meet with DOT officials who arrived on the ground within hours of the derailment. They point out it's exceedingly rare for a transportation secretary to visit the site of a train derailment, especially one that resulted in no fatalities. And the reason they're pointing that out, it's fair, that's accurate. And there were train derailments in the Trump administration that actually had fatalities that didn't have a visit by Transportation Secretary Elaine Chao.
The key thing always is what, if anything, is an administration obliged to do when something like this happened? And visits by officials are nice, but they're essentially political gestures. I mean, I don't think the administration's policy and actions toward East Palestine would be any different if more officials had gone there. The president's overseas. I completely reject the parallel that's been drawn between his going to Ukraine and not going so far, at least, to East Palestine. Let's remember this, Brett, about these issues. The federal government preeminently has the responsibility for our national defense. Now, he may ultimately go to East Palestine, and Pete Buttigieg probably would have done himself some good by going out there, and it might have made people feel better. But substantively, it doesn't make much difference.
And it's a very good point, Willie, that the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, his preeminent responsibility constitutionally, is to protect this country. Protect the country as Commander-in-Chief. And you can do two things.